Hello children, good morning. Children, today we will be taking up our English unit 4, A Cure for Santa. Okay, everyone of you all love to see the Santa Claus, right? So do you really think that the Santa Claus exists? No, Santa Claus does not exist. He is an imaginary person. But nowadays, to make the children quiet or to make the children more, to make them more interesting, so that they can feel more interesting about the Santa Claus, the people dress up themselves as a Santa Claus, real Santa Claus, and they will distribute the gifts and the presents on the eve of Christmas, right? So here in this lesson also we come across of a boy who is very much afraid of the small children. After his father's death, his father was used to dress up like a Santa Claus, and he used to go and distribute the gifts and presents to the children. But after the death of his father, the small boy, his name is Robin, and he was very afraid because during his childhood he was always closed in his room, and he used to work on the in a workshop where he used to make toys, little toys to the children, but he never came across any child, and he was very much afraid. He was thinking that the children would be eating him or would be killing him. He was having that thought in his mind. So the people who used to work along with him in his workshop, they were some dwarfs or some elves. Elves means some imaginary people who have the pointed ears. They look like beasts, but actually they are not beasts. So they are in the human form only. So these people were very much worried. Who is going to take the charge of Santa Claus, because his father have died, right? So now if the Robin is not going to take the charge, then who is going to distribute the gifts to the little kids? The kids will be worrying and they will be looking forward for the Santa Claus. So how his friends have helped him to get into the form of Santa Claus, we will be seeing. A cure for Santa means the person, the Robin, how he was afraid of the children and how his friends came up with the idea to overcome of his own fear and cured him completely. Okay children, so take out the textbook, English textbook, page number 34, A Cure for Santa. Now let's see. After his father, Santa Claus, died, Robin was not ready to take up Santa's duties. He did not want to be the Santa for a very weird reason. So this guy don't want to be a Santa at all after his father died, for the very weird reason. Weird reason is that, according to him, that he used to think, what is the use of going to the children and giving the gifts and distributing the gifts to them? I don't love children anymore. I don't love children actually. Why should I face them? They are so much, I'm so much afraid of them. They are so much scary. He used to think. This was his own thoughts. So, as a child, Robin had spent all his time indoors learning how to make wonderful toys of all sorts. So, from the childhood, Robin always spent his own time in his room only, spending the time, most of his time in the workshop where he was making the different kinds of toys. He had never interacted with any other child, and so he was afraid of children. How on earth would he go and deliver the toys during Christmas then? So he was worried about the children behavior and all. So how he can think that he will go and distribute the toys to the children? The gremlins means a mischief maker, okay, who will make the jokes, okay, who looks like a human being only, but he will be having a long teeth. He'll look little bit like a monster. You can see here. He have eyes, hands and legs like human being only, but he have the pointed ears. He look like an animal, but actually he is a monster type mischief maker. And elves, that means elves is a supernatural but a living being. In the past, in the olden days, these guys used to be alive. These kind of creature was in the extinct. Now, the gremlins and elves who worked at Santa's toy workshop were very worried. They had to find a cure for their new Santa, or the children would go without gifts every Christmas thereafter. So the friends, the people who were working there, they were thinking, how then? Who is going to be a new Santa? The children are not going to get any gifts on the Christmas. Listen carefully, said Alec, the leader of the Gremlins with an air of importance. You all must go and pick up newspapers and look for the advertisement. Look out for doctors, wizards and people with special talents who can help cure our Robin. So here one of the guy, see, you can see this. Okay. His name is Alec. So he said, listen all of you, to all of the workers he said, you go and bring the newspaper, go through the newspaper and find out any special doctor, is there any special wizard who will take, wizard means a supernatural, the person who have the supernatural power. Wizard is a kind of a imaginary beast, okay, imaginary monster. It doesn't exist at all. You should not think that there are any ghost children. Okay, these are all our imaginations. So he was telling, this is a story, right? It is just a story. Don't think it is a real one. So he was telling that go and find out from the advertisement, from the newspapers, that if there is such doctor who can cure the mindset of our Robin, so that he can become as normal as we are. Now newspapers from everywhere were bought, and the elves and gremlins began looking for the advertisement immediately. So they brought all sorts of newspapers and they started looking for the new doctor or new wizard or someone who can cure the little boy. I see something interesting, cried Aldo in a small sweet voice. Aldo was another guy. So you can see here the another green creature. His name was Aldo. He found some interesting advertisement in the newspaper. Read it please, said Alec. Now Alec, this guy, Alec, he was saying, please read out Aldo. Just let me know what it is given in the newspaper. Here it goes. Here it goes. That means what? He started. Are you afraid of dark? Are you afraid of your own shadow? Are you afraid of spiders? Are you afraid of snakes? Are you suffering from phobias? Dr. Michelle Smith, Doctor of Fear, will help you. Call him now. So it was given in the newspaper. How the advertisement will come? In this form only, right? So advertisement goes in this way. Are you afraid of dark? Question mark. Are you afraid of your own shadow? Some people will be fearing with their own shadow also. So are you afraid of spiders? Are you afraid of snakes? Are you suffering from any phobias? Phobias means what? A type of scariness, a particular thing. Dr. Michael Smith, Doctor of Fear, will help you. Now here Dr. Michael Smith, he was thinking like the doctor will help in all sorts of afraidness or the scary things, the scary people. Now call him, he had given some number. Okay, their number was written. Well done Aldo, just what we need. Tomorrow Robin will go to see the doctor. Now these guys decided, now let us make Robin to go and see the doctor. Seeing means going and meeting. Okay. The next morning Alec told Robin over breakfast about all that happened the previous day and managed to convince him to see the doctor. Now during the breakfast, this news has to conveyed to Robin, right? So that only the Robin is going to see the doctor. Now they told during the breakfast to the Robin, see whatever happened yesterday, we have gone through some newspapers and some advertisement. We have seen a doctor who is going to cure your fear of the children, little children. Now, half an hour later, Robin was all dressed up and on the sleigh along with Alec and Aldo. They took off for the city. Now the sleigh means what? Children on the horses, that like Santa Claus, in the imagination Santa Claus will come in the the chariot of the horses, right? So he dressed up like Santa Claus, Robin now, and along with his two friends, that Alec and Aldo, he got ready and they started to the city. When they reached the doctor's clinic, they were asked to wait in a room. Everything in that room was white floor, curtains, tables, everything. So when they reached to the doctor's clinic, everything there, they have seen everything in white color. White curtains, white floor, white tiles, everything was in white color. Looks like the doctor is afraid of black, Alec chuckled. Now Alec was telling that maybe the doctor is afraid of black color. That's the reason he have painted even the walls and decorated his windows and the doors with white curtains as well. Right at the moment, the secretary poked in her head. Doctor is waiting for you, she said. So at that time, the secretary of the doctor had come out and said, please come in, our doctor is waiting for you. They found that there was nothing exceptional about the doctor other than what he wore. Shoes, even the laces, trousers, apron, spectacles, everything The doctor himself was a rather pale, short, saturated man with thick black eyebrows. So there, after entering into the room, the doctor's room, they have seen everything in white color. Even the doctor was having the white stethoscope. Okay, you know what is stethoscope, right? With what the doctors usually examine our heartbeat and all. So the white stethoscope, the white spectacles and everything. The doctor himself was pale in color. Pale means little fair color, but he was having only black thick eyebrows. By seeing the doctor, these three guys were little much scared and little much worried and wondering why these all things are in white color. The doctor greeted the visitors and introduced himself warmly. However, Alec found the whiteness rather cold and uncomfortable. Why is everything white here? He asked. Now, when the doctor introduced himself, saying that I am Dr. So-and-so, I'm Dr. Smith, and I am the specialist of the fear, whatever the phobias you have, I am going to take out from you. He introduced himself, but Alec, he asked him, see, why everything is white in color here? So Dr. Smith looked at him and smiled. Well, I choose white because no one is afraid of white. Children are afraid of dark and not anything white. So he said, see, I choose white color because everyone like white. No one is afraid of white color. Sometimes the children are afraid with the black color instead of white. So white is a peaceful color and everyone will feel it very interesting. Even vampires like the white moon. Bulls hated red and don't mind white. You can see many instances where white is preferred color in our lives. So doctor continued by saying, even vampires means you know children, the vampires also are imaginary creatures who will be having long teeth. Okay, they will be having horns on their head. So even vampires love the white full moon. And the bulls, you know the bulls, right? Bulls hate the red color. Whenever the red color cloth is displayed in front of them, they'll come running and they'll hit the person or they'll make the person to fall down. So they don't mind the white color. Even the animals love the white color. Now Robin smiled and stroked his white beard. Now Robin, the guy who had come for the treatment, he himself smiled and he was just he was having the white beard, right? He dressed up like a Santa Claus, means he will be having white beard and mustache. So that he was like touching the mustache and the beard and was feeling like a little bit happy that he is not afraid of white. Now when the doctor asked about his problem, Robin smile vanished and he narrated his problem in a solemn tone. Now when the doctor asked, yes Robin, tell me what is your problem? Now when the Robin was smiling by touching his beard, right, at that time his fear, the smile vanished. Vanished means it's gone, and he came to the point and he said what was his problem and why he was scared about the small children. Dr. Smith stood up and began pacing the room up and down. He looked right at Robin and said, this is a very rare case. I honestly have no clear idea about the treatment, but we can give it a try. Now Dr. Smith got up from his chair. He was walking throughout his room and he was telling, I never came across of this kind of disease or this kind of a problem in any human being or any living thing. But I think you have very special case. You have come to me with very special problem. I do not have any treatment regarding to your disease or your problem, but let us give a try. We will try to give you a treatment. Robin did not know what to expect. Are you afraid of oaks? Asked Smith. Now Robin, when doctor said this all, Robin said, oh my God, now doctor is also not helping me. Now who is going to help me? He was thinking in this way. Now, are you afraid of oaks? Oaks is an imaginary monster. Okay, so who will be having a large body, who will be eating flesh of other animals. He will be eating raw flesh of the animals. So a kind of a monster, you can say, big monster. So the doctor asked, are you afraid of oaks? So Robin said, yeah, I am afraid of oaks. Witches? Pooh, Robin said contemptuously. Means he said, are you afraid of oaks? Robin said, yes. Are you afraid of wizards? Robin said, yeah, I don't like them. Please don't talk about them. What about the little girls? Robin grew pale with fear. Oh, terrible, he cried. Now the doctor also asked, are you afraid of little girls, small children? Then Robin cried loudly. He said, yes, please don't talk about the little children. I am very much afraid of them. Now I have got an idea of what to do with you. I have treated a few people and they are completely cured now. Why don't you just pay them a visit and find out what helped them? Dr. Smith suggested. He gave the addresses of 2 different people. Go meet them and come to me immediately after that. Now, Dr. Smith was telling, now I have treated these kind of people before also. So you do one thing, I'm going to give you 2 different addresses of the people, I mean the doctors or the specialists, where they will be giving the treatment for this particular thing. So you go and meet them one after other, then after meeting them, come down to me immediately. Robin, Alec and Aldo reached the first address. So these 3 guys, Robin, Alec and Aldo, reached the first address what the doctor has suggested them. 1, Jules, and 2 was Brown's. Okay, 1 was the Jules address and 2nd was the Brown's address. Jules' house is right here, said Alec as they stood in front of a wooden house. Aldo knocked at the door. So now, after reaching to the other place, the Aldo said, we have reached to the Jules' place. Now I am going to knock the door. He got down from that sleigh and he went to a wooden house and he knocked the door. Suddenly the door opened and there stood a terrible figure. Now suddenly the door opened slowly and there stood a terrible, that was very scary figure. He was 2 meters tall and must have weighed around 170 kilos. So he was 2 meters tall, only 2 meters tall, and his weight might be 170 kgs, that much fat he was. He had untidy hair and sharp dinosaur-like teeth. He was that scribbled hair, messy hair and sharp teeth like dinosaur teeth. What do you want? He asked with a wicked smile. He asked, what do you want? So, are you Mr. Jules? Aldo asked. He was also very scared by seeing that figure. Are you Mr. Jules? The man nodded. He just said, yes. Dr. Smith sent us to you, Alex said. Our friend here has a peculiar fear. Maybe you can help him get cured. Now Aldo said, see, we have come from Dr. Smith. He has suggested us to go and meet you. Our friend Robin, he have a particular fear, a peculiar fear. That means that particular important thing. He have a particular fear. Then Dr. Smith has suggested that you may cure our friend. The house smelled of rotten cabbage and burnt meat. Everything was dark. Before Jules could remove the bones on the table, the visitors saw them. So as soon as they were coming inside, these 3 guys, the inside the smell was like some raw, like stale cabbage. Stale means rotten, which is already spoiled. That raw, spoiled cabbage smell and burnt meat. Meat ki burn chese ela smell vastundi, and that type of smell they were getting. And there were some bones of the living things spread on the table. So before the Jules can remove all the bones, the 3 guys have already seen. And by seeing the bones, they were very much shocked. Oh my God, now he is going to eat all 3 of them. They were thinking, no, he must be having a monster's appetite, Aldo whispered fearfully. Now he was very much fearing Aldo, the little guy, and he was telling him the fear. He might be having the monster's appetite. That means like Rakshas will be no children. Monsters means the living thing who will eat the bigger human beings and all. So he was saying, now he'll be having the monster's appetite, the hunger. So everything raw only he'll be eating from us. Jules came back and closed the windows, plunging the room into complete darkness. Now Jules, the person whom they visited, he came and he put down all the curtains. He made the room complete dark. Let me tell you my problem. I'm afraid of the noise of children. When the children see me, they scream, especially when I try to get them for my meal. No, I mean when I go to buy my food. I went to Dr. Smith and he advised me to think that these children were mice and that their screams were just squeaks. It helped. Jules grinned, showing his terrible teeth. He lit a candle. Why don't you stay on for dinner? Now, when Robin explained, see, I went to Dr. Smith, I explained him that I am afraid of small children because whenever I am going to bring them good things or the food, whatever they like, they are afraid of me and they will just run away. I don't know why the children are afraid of me. That's the reason I also started fearing of them and started distancing myself from the children. Now, the Jules, the monster whom they went, he has showed his teeth, bigger teeth, and he smiled. So do you think, why you are worried about the small children? So he said, Robin was saying that the small children thought that I am a monster. The small children were thinking that he himself, the Robin is a monster, and whenever he is going to greet the children were like making noise, and Robin was thinking that the children are mice or spiders. So that's the reason Robin was having that fear. Maybe the children are not human beings, but some creepy crawlies like spiders and mouse and all, rats running here and there, making lots of noise. So the Jews listened to him carefully and he said, why don't you three guys stay up to dinner? I will be giving you the medicine. So we'll see in the next class what actually for this invitation did the Robin and his friends accepted or not. Okay children, go through the lesson once again.